question I get asked all the time is, how do you do it all? How do you juggle 4 kids, homeschooling them, working, and just generally staying sane? Sometimes I'm not sure if I do stay sane, but I do try and keep lots of balls juggling, and I'm gonna share a few things that I do, or rather maybe mindsets that I've taken on board that help me juggle lots of things without going crazy. So this is going to be a bit of a personal video, just sharing the inner workings of my brain. Why would I think anyone might find that interesting? I don't know, but people ask me all the time how I get everything done. So in case it helps someone out there, here we go. First thing is I really try and manage my expectations. And when it comes to home educating, a lot of people say, can you work and home educate at the same time? My answer is yes. However, it depends. It depends on your personality. It depends on the type of work that you do. It depends on the maturity of your children, or kind of what they actually need from you. It also depends on your spouse or your partner, or if you're a single parent, just the bigger family dynamics all need to be taken into account, really. But can it work? Yes, it can. I've always been somebody who finds life better when I've got lots of things on the go. And I was talking to a friend, I said to her, I realized something. I'm happiest when I am doing things at around 70 to 80% kind of perfection. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this: if any area of my life falls below 70% kind of doing well, if you think of like 100% as like you're rocking it, you're nailing it, it's perfect, it's brilliant, then 70 to 80% is where I like all the different elements of my life to be. And here's why. Anything less than that, I start to feel annoyed, like this is not going right. Things start to fall down, break down, get a bit miserable if we hit kind of 50%, 60% in terms of like achievement. But also, I know that the extra work, energy and effort involved in getting any area of my life from an 80% to 100% is not worth it. It could take me another 10 hours to get any area from that, 80% good to 100% good. And I could take that time and do something else completely new or different. So for example, a tidy house, right? I don't like being in a mess. I've never liked being in a mess, but equally, I do not want a perfectly clean house. I don't want to spend like hours of my week scrubbing skirting boards or anything. Do you want to do that? Now, would it make my house 100% clean and tidy? Yes, it would, but then I wouldn't have time to do other things that matter to me as well. So my expectation of every area of my life really is, if I can get 80% good, that is good enough for me. So some of the balls that I juggle, obviously I have 4 children and I home educate them. They are currently aged 6, 7, 10 and 11. In terms of time, now that I've got the kind of philosophy and the approach, which for us is the Charlotte Mason method, I don't spend hours and hours and hours planning what we're going to learn. I would spend an average of 3 hours a day, I've worked out, hands-on with the children, doing really kind of focused learning. Really nothing more than 3 hours. Now that doesn't include driving them to swimming lessons, or going out in the forest, or meeting up with friends, or doing craft, or doing all the other important things. But in terms of like hands-on with me, being engaged with my kids, all 4 of them, 3 hours a day and 4 days a week. So 12 hours a week really is what I spend focused on my kids. Plus another 1 hour a week planning what we're going to do the week in advance. Another ball that I juggle is just keeping everybody alive, and if you are responsible for children, then you will know what it's like. Just feeding everybody takes time. Now, I don't do all the cooking myself, and I will come to that a bit later, but I do carry the ball as far as juggling of actually what are we going to eat. No one wakes up in the morning and thinks, shall we have this week? And I shall go to the shops and buy it. That is my job, and so that is a big thing that I have to carry, as well as laundry, just running the house. I don't do all the housework myself. We share things, but in terms of just feeling like I'm carrying this is one, just household management is one ball that I have to juggle as well. Another ball that I'm juggling is my work. So I do a little bit of freelance marketing and PR, copywriting sort of thing. The nature of that is I can do it in my own time, I can do it whenever I want, I can say yes or no, so I'm in control of what I do with my work. I have also recently started trading, becoming a financial trader. I am going to link below my Instagram account because I am sharing what I'm doing there if you're interested. One of the reasons that I decided to take on trading is because I can do it from home, I can do it at 6 in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. Again, it's incredibly flexible in terms of my time, and that's really something that I needed. I do that as well. So at the moment I spend about half an hour in the mornings, not every day, maybe 2 or 3 days a week, analyzing the charts, and then I will pop back in maybe at lunchtime and check on how things are going and whether or not I want to place the trade. I'm also working on an e-commerce business which at the moment is taking a lot of my time. So we are not homeschooling this week, we're having a week off so that I can focus on that. Another ball that I juggle is my husband and I lead a church where we live, and so that just takes quite a lot of time, preparation, just being available to people. Finally, this is a really important one, is just keeping up with family, relationships, friendships. All of that takes time. I want to try and be a good friend, to be available to my friends, my family. A lot of them live on the other side of the world in New Zealand, and so juggling phone calls, Zooms, time zones, I feel like that is something that I have to carry and not completely drop the ball with that, because then I wouldn't be a very good sister or daughter. Another ball that I'm juggling is just my own well-being and physical health, mental health. I want to stay healthy, I want to keep mentally healthy. That means for me being able to schedule an exercise, time to read, because I have a ferocious need to learn and think, so I need to read myself. Being outside and just having quality time with my husband, with my kids, playing with them, not just teaching and doing schoolwork, but actually just chilling, being together. Final ball that I try and juggle is YouTube. Not that I feel I'm doing particularly well with it, to be perfectly honest. So if anyone is still watching this video at the end, can you leave a comment and let me know that you watched it the whole way through? Okay, so that is expectations. Those are the balls that I am juggling. How do I try and keep everything going? And the first thing is really rhythms. Rhythms to the day, rhythms to the week, and rhythms to the month. Let's start with the month first, okay? So being female, I do have hormonal kind of like, woo! I never really used to think that I did, but actually now, I think I actually do. So here's how I try and work it out. I actually try and plan my month, knowing that in the first 3/4 of the month is when I'm going to be most productive. So if I want to record a YouTube video, that is the time to do it. If I wait till the end of the month, I will be feeling bleh. It just won't happen, and then I'll feel frustrated because I'll put it on my to-do list and be like, you need to record a video, and then I won't do it. Just won't happen. So I try and stack the first half of my month in terms of my hormonal cycle with all the important things that need to get done. That's when I've got the most energy. I find it easiest to get out of bed in the morning and just crack on. We also are very intentional about rhythms to our week. Again, there are some things which are like you need to do them every day, and other things which are like if we can just do this once a week, that's good enough. So my husband and I take one night a week to have a kind of date night, have dinner without the children, just to be together and hang out and stuff. So we also take one day a week to properly rest, doing the traditional Shabbat Sabbath celebration. So kind of Friday night to Saturday, we properly down tools and chill out and just reflect and rest and eat and do all that good stuff. And then daily rhythms as well. So I try and get up consistently by 6 o'clock. If I'm feeling really energized, then I can get up earlier than that. But 6 o'clock is good enough. And then I try and do some exercise every day, or at least 5 days a week. When it's winter, it's much easier for me to do like a 10-minute YouTube workout. If the weather's good, then I'd rather go for a run. We also have once a week when we clean the house, and this normally happens on a Friday afternoon before we switch off for our kind of Shabbat rest day. So around at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I get all the kids together and we blitz the house. I give them all jobs to do, and we just get the house cleaned once a week. Okay, next thing is delegation. So thankfully, now that my children are a little bit older, I can delegate some things to them. So I am teaching my daughters, who are 10 and 11, how to cook some dinners, how to do some baking, so that I don't have to do it all. When my husband and I have our kind of date night, they cook for each other, and they cook for themselves that night. Also, my kids take responsibility for doing lunch dishes, for doing dinner dishes, and they rotate around that. And then every day, each child has some chores they have to do, and that is like vacuuming, cleaning bathrooms, putting away laundry, that sort of thing. Every day my children have to help do some practical chores around the house, because I'm not Superwoman. I cannot do it all, and also I don't want to. In terms of delegating, my husband also cooks dinner once a week, and often when we have our date night, sometimes he will cook for us as well. Something else which I've learned is really important in terms of keeping balls juggling is good communication, because nearly everything that we do involves other people, right? And certainly our families. So I have to have very good communication, particularly with my husband, about what is happening, what I'm expecting of him, what he's expecting of me. Especially on the weekends, it's not just a free-for-all. We sit down and we negotiate what are we going to do with our time so that we're both in agreement about, you know, what he's spending his time doing. Because if he just goes off and spends the whole day doing something that, you know, he wants to do, what if I need his help with something, or vice versa? So we try and communicate every single day about what we are getting done, what we need from each other, so there's no surprises, or like, you said you would be there and then you're not and you're busy, and like, we've all had those moments. And listen, I do have them where I look at each other and I'm like, did you not hear me say that? And he's like, no, I didn't hear you. I'm like, I said it crystal clear. Those moments do happen, unfortunately, but I try and be really deliberate about it so they don't happen very often. The more everything is planned in terms of this is going to happen then, this will happen then, generally the more everything gets done to that 70 to 80% standard that I'm hoping for. But I do think it's really important when things don't go well to know when to just put that ball down for a minute and go and rejuvenate or recover sometimes, and rest, because sometimes we can't keep them all going all the time, and we do just have to say, I'm going to pause that. I've had to learn that there are some days, some moments where everything is just too much, and it's okay to just put something down for a little bit, even for a week, and even the children's education. Sometimes I say, actually guys, you can cope with another week of not doing a lot because you're actually doing fine. And if we just need to tone down your education this week so that mum can regroup and make some progress on some other things, then we do that. You know, I feel the freedom to do that. Maybe in the first year of home educating, I would have felt like we have to keep going. Now, after 2 years, I do feel more freedom to say, it's okay to take another week off. You're all okay. You can read, you can play, you can do piano. There's a bunch of things you can do without me. And then I can make some progress on some other things. And that is how I approach trying to keep everything going. And there, at least once a month, I have moments of going, oh, I can't do it. And then I sleep, I have a bath, I go for a run, and I wake up the next morning and I feel like, it's okay, we can do this. So as long as I'm psychologically prepared for those moments, it's all okay. That is just how I try and do it. How do you try and do everything? Let me know, please put a comment down below and let me know if you've got any particular ways of approaching life as a busy person or a home educator, keeping everything going. We have to go easy on ourselves sometimes and just lower expectations sometimes. It doesn't have to be a permanent lowering of expectations. Sometimes it's just short term, but if that's what's needed to keep your mental health in a good place, then lower the expectation, roll with it, and a brighter day will come. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, I will link below my Instagram, my 2 Instagram accounts, and particularly the one on trading if that's something that you might be interested in doing. Okay, have a great week. I hope you smash every single goal that you've set for yourself, and if you don't manage to, then I hope you don't smash any glasses or anything, but that everything goes to plan.